Okay, this is probably the toughest question on the exam. It has to do with cofunction identities. Now, some says, is there another way of doing the problem? Certainly, I'm not suggesting that there's only one way to do anything, but I think the best way, at least in my opinion, to do this problem is using cofunction identities. And let me just remind you about that. So I'm going to say the cosine of theta is the same thing as the sine of pi over 2 minus theta. I could also say the sine of theta is the same thing as the cosine of pi over 2 minus theta. Now, certainly in the Math 120 course, we give you 6 cofunction identities. And depending on how teachers teach those, hopefully you can retain that. Or, of course, if you can't, it might be a tough problem to do otherwise. But I want to write the cosine of 5 beta, that's a beta, plus pi over 12. In terms of sine, what's it going to be? Sine pi over 2 minus the angle. What's the angle going to be? 5 beta and minus pi over 12, right? Now, once I do this, I start to realize that this over here is in terms of that over there. Now, by the way, they do make it simpler for me, acute angle. This could be a difficult problem, by the way, if they said find all solutions to the problem. And there's an infinite number of them, by the way. I'm just going to say equate their arguments now. So what I'm going to claim over here is that, oops, I didn't mean to do that, that this guy's argument, same thing as this guy over here. And let's write that down now. So what do I get? I get pi over 2, whoops, pi over 2 minus 5 beta minus pi over 12, well, is going to be equal to 4 beta plus pi over 60. What I would do is I'd multiply both sides by the LCD. The LCD is 60. What do you get there? 30 pi minus 300 beta, and let's see, minus 5 pi, 240 beta, plus pi. Well, let's see, 540 beta. And let's see what you get there. 30 minus 5 is 25, and 25 minus pi is 24 pi. Whoops, that's not 24 pi, is it? I would divide both sides by 540, and I got beta, which is certainly an acute angle. By the way, you may be surprised, but there's other acute angles that also satisfy this. Here's the deal, though. I need to reduce that. And how do you reduce that? Well, let's put this down. Beta, I'll divide by 2. You get 12 pi. Let's see, what would you get there? That would be 250, 270, right? I'm going to divide by 2 again. That's 6 pi. And what you get there? 135. I'm going to divide by 3 now. What are you going to get? 2 pi. And 3 into 135 is 45. This is certainly an acute angle, 2 pi over 45. All right, is that answer being listed? Of course it is. But I may be curious, there's other acute angles that satisfy this, and these are the other acute angles. That's certainly more difficult, and that would be a tough one if they asked for all the acute angles that satisfy that. All right, more difficult question. But again, I'm thankful that that thing popped up pretty quickly. Thank you.